we've gone we've gone into our 6th month of the year, so we're start of halfway through. So I'm gonna be spending some time to just backtest the first 5 months of the year, sorry, and then just to see, how what sort of opportunities that the market gave us, if it was a bit more resilient or if it was a bit more open-minded about things. Um, and then I think the one I've got today I want to go over, I simply haven't gone over it, is I think Usdchf, and I'll go over to forex.com. So Usdchf, but before I get into it, I'm gonna pretty much lay down. I'll go into it as we proceed as well, but just pretty much so everybody knows. So I'm a limit trader, so I set limits. Obviously, I play the 50s and 80s. Half of my risk would go into the limit, and then the half would go into uh, the distribution or the accumulation in the point of interest. What else? I use my fibs as well for entry to get a more refined zone and confluence. Um, I want to say that's pretty much it. That's pretty much like the difference, I guess. But as I said, we'll go into it as we like whatever. I'll share my thoughts as well. And secondly, if you guys could, let me know how you guys would proceed with it as well, with the current price action that we'll be seeing together, and also, what you guys would do. Okay, so it's everyone's back test. You're plugged in, so you might as well back test here with me. So we're just gonna go to there you go, 29th of December. Okay, cool. And then I've also got the Forex Factory loaded up, so we can look for news. All right, so this is where we were last year. Now, first things first, let's just go and then do our top down. So there's no two ways about this. Top down, we're pretty much high time frame bearish. So let me just go ahead and put that down. High time frame, high time frame bearish is the lower time frame. I can see we're bearish, so I'm gonna leave that the same. And then at this precise point, I would say because we've got a start of a market cycle, we've got our accumulation here, and then essentially our reaccumulation going into here, and then our distro in here. So we've got an intraday leg sitting there. So I'm just gonna spend a couple of minutes just laying that down. So that's our intraday. Okay. I'm just gonna do my legs and then I'm gonna do my point of interest in a sec. And then this is my, let me see what this is. Mhm. Okay, so this is what's holding it, structure. And that's our lower time frame here. So high time frame and lower time frame were bearish, and then we're being maintained intraday here. Actually, this is funny. I was actually speaking to someone, and let me see if I can pull it up here, and let's see if you can actually find it, because we have got. Give me a second. I can't find it. No. Okay. No, I can't find it. Alright, cool. So essentially, we know just before I can even get into my leg. So I already know because my high time frame and my lower time frame are bearish comes to, and my intraday were bullish. So that means that's where I'll be looking for my sales. I'm gonna be looking at lower time frame mitigation candle and slingshots. for my well, at the same time then, but it won't be that. It will be the buys before that. So the buy is going to be our intraday mitigation candle, okay, and slingshot. If you haven't gone through it, I need to check. If you haven't gone through it, if we have, then it's just going to be the mitigation candles. If we haven't, then I'll be looking for a buy. Now that would be in a form of hedge, okay. Um, so that's where I'll be buying. Sorry, that's what I'll be selling. That's where I'll be buying. I'll be selling once again at high time frame mitigation candle and slingshot. Um, and then I'll be looking for hedges in between. Okay, so that's pretty much my game plan. I already know what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'll be looking. So now that we've got our legs and we've got our game plan, let's look at our point of interest. Where exactly are we going to be selling? Where exactly are we going to be buying? Now, starting off, we've got our distro. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with labeling and stuff like that. We've got our distro. Does it have cause and effect? We're currently punching this low here. So it's a valid POI. Bearish extreme. Lower time frame. Cool. And we're being maintained from here. And we know we've got that accumulation sitting here. Accumulation sitting here. Right now, before I get into that actually, so I don't really have a slingshot in there. I mean, I do, but I also don't, if that makes sense. Um, because technically this should be my slingshot because this was the re-entry, this was the accumulation, the shakeout with the UTAD, and that was the cause of the break here. This is just continuation play. Um, so I mean, I could look at that as well, but I would pretty much rather wait for this area here. Okay, so it's not like for me. I don't think this is a well drawn redistro. So I'd rather wait for price to come in between that. I mean, we've got imbalance in there, so I'm not really going to be paying it much attention into that slingshot. I'd rather wait for price to come slightly higher up. And if I miss that, I miss that. So if price does come up into here and then distribute from that slingshot and then come down, and I miss this, then I'll just play the redistro. Cool. So that's pretty much my lower time frame. Now my intraday, we know we've got this area here, okay, and we've also got this area here, okay. That for me is, I would say that for me is my slingshot. That's that push price up here. That is obviously the mitigation candle. So I'll be looking at that for an accumulation in here, and I'll be looking at that for an accumulation in here. So those are my buying areas, and then those are my selling areas. And then in here, if I can get myself into a redistro to hedge myself into the sell to go down, to then again hedge myself into the buy to either come up or to come down. So let's go back. If I can get into a sell here and then price does not hold this accumulation and goes down, I'll be winning. If if I get into a redistro here and then I get into an accumulation here and then price stops me out here, I've secured profit and then comes up into our lower time frame structure, then I'll be winning from here. Okay, so I'm hedged in from both ways. That's my game plan going into this. So far, is everything making sense so far in my whole process? Let me know. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, let's proceed. So I'm just gonna highlight the area. So from the 80 down here, that's my bullish extreme into there. And that would be, so I'll do that 50 to here. That's like my slingshot. To there. and I'm gonna summarize those with my hedge box because that is counter trend, right? Hedge, cool. So yeah, so far so good. And again, I'm not focusing too much on the high time frame because high time frame we're there and we're not even trading there yet. Okay, that's why I haven't gone. But if we were to do it, this is what's holding it. Um this is our slingshot. That's pushed this down. This I haven't checked. I need to check. I don't know if this is just forex.com being stupid or if this is an actual candle. I want to say it's not. I don't remember seeing this anywhere else, but I could be wrong. But anyways, before we do that, before we focus on that, we essentially need to go through this first. So until we do that, let's see. Let's play in between that the low time frame and the intraday first, and then we can come out. Okay, cool. So now let's actually come down to like an intraday time frame, and let's see. So this is where we are. This is where we closed last year. So far, what we can see is we can see that price has made a lower time frame low, and we're just currently in at this sideways channel here. Oops, something like that. And we can obviously see the order flow. Um, we can see the order flow is just work. I want to say that's like pretty much the whole continuation there. Cool. So what I would be looking for is I'll be looking for some sort of like shakeout. Ideally, something that maybe can help us tap into this. Because we can see this was the distro, this was the distro. This for me is just a continuation. This is the redistro because we can see the attempt to accumulate, and then the distro, and then that. So this is just continuation for me. I would say this is our main focus, and this has already come back and mitigated. So if we can get some sort of shakeout that does take out these early sellers here, and then we can get into something here. That would be great. Now, if I don't get into this for whatever reason, I'll just wait for the break and then we come back. Okay. Now, when we do get a break, I will be placing a limit here because we're pro trend times two, and we are in what's it called in a redistribution phase, right? So let's just wait. So let's just see. And again, coming up into the fundamentals for the first week, if I was to go back here, so the market just opened up on a Sunday. I'm assuming the first two, second, third is not really much. So it's only going to be the fourth, fifth, sixth. Which I mean, we can go and we can have a look. Okay, so the fourth we've actually got both Chef and USD news. And that week, so the fifth, we've got some USD news coming up, and then that Friday is actually NFP. So let's see what we've got coming up. And again, I'm not looking to do anything. As I said, I do have this area in mind, but I would essentially want price to give us that shakeout before we can do anything. Even up to that 50, I'll be happy, and then something like that. So let's just see what the market does with the new month, new year, where we are. So there's the 30th. And this is the whoops, hold on. This is the fourth here. We're coming up to the fourth. So that was one news. Didn't really do much, low volume. And we're coming up to the Thursday and the next day. So this is NFP right now. Okay. So we essentially did get our shakeout. So we essentially did get our shakeout. It just obviously didn't come deep enough. So I don't know now if it still wants to come up or if it doesn't, right? What I do want to know is whether we break this, see if we can play into that, or ideally go now and make a new low, right? Um, because if we don't break this, we could still be in that retracement leg to come up into here where we do get a distribution to then go down. So we don't know. So now we need to wait for that break, see if price wants to come up. If it does, perfect. If it doesn't, then we just once again play the same thing, the redistro within it, and then this is the clean break that we also require. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that, and we just now need to wait for this break. Okay, and I can already see there's something in here which we'll go and we'll see. The first thing I need it to do now is, so we have a distro, but I need that distro to actually do something. I need it to have cause and effect behind it now. So let's see. Okay, so we've got the break, right? Now I can actually wait a little bit longer and I can actually see if we do go and if we make this low as well. And the reason being is because then that would tell me what sort of risk I can put on. Okay, so if it just did that and then we started to retrace back up, it would be a lower risk compared to if we now broke this and then we come up, it would be slightly higher risk because now this is what's maintaining the new leg. You know, if we didn't, if we just did that and we come up, this is still what was maintaining that leg. So this would be a slight a lower risk but a riskier trade, if that makes sense. Cool. So let's just see if we do get that break. Oh, okay. So we get that break. Right now, let's actually go inside it. I'm already liking that 1 hour candle, to be fair. 59, 61. Nope. I think I want to stick to that 60. That 60 is pretty good. Okay, so we've got a 60-minute in there. Uh, 60-minute. What else do we have? What is this? So this is Friday. Hold on, calm down. So this is NFP, right? So this is this NFP in here. Friday, open price, NFP. Okay. There's imbalance that needs to be filled in here. We can see that, right? Just by the sheer volume of it. We've gone and we made it low, so we know this is what needs to come back and retrace. And hold on. 50. Okay. That is pretty much my POI done. Does anybody want to do anything else with this? Or are you happy to move on as well? Anything else that you guys would, if you was in my shoes right now, anything else you guys would do? Waiting for the pullback or pin continuation. Yeah, yeah. Same thing. I'll be waiting for the pullback as well or the continuation. But in terms of the POI, everything is good to go. Anything else that you would like to do? No, good to go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, pretty much same thing with me as well. The POI is good to go. Um, and I would split my risk this way, like this. So I'll do it just like that. Just got that, and I'll bring that down to 20. And now one slightly higher risk. Okay, cool. Right now that's that. And in terms of our numbers, so I just got my 50k backtest journal here. So let's just put it 50k as well. And do we have a 10 to 1? Just to make that low is a 10 to 1. Just to make that low is a by an 8 to 1. and our TP2, our second target, which would be the start of the hedge, would be a 10 to 1. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then how I'll do this, as I said, so this is a redistro, and that is going to be a 0.20% risk. So what I'll do is I'll split that and I'll put 0.10 in here, and that's going to be 0.05, 0.05, okay? And I'll put 0.05 before it, and I'll put 0.05 after it. Does this make sense? Just to give you an idea in terms of why. So this is my game plan. This is how I like to come into it. So let's just say I'm trading at my extreme. My extreme has a 0.50% risk. But what I do is I'll put 0.25 in here, 0.10 up before that in a form of schematic, and then 0.15 after, if the limit doesn't get activated, if this has clapped, and then I miss some sort of entry, I'll be coming into here with a 0.15. So this is the same principle that I'm going to be doing with this trade. Same principle. So we put 0. So we got first case. It's going to be 0.05%, and that one's going to be 0.05. So if I was to lose the limit, it's going to be 0.10, and then I would have an alert sitting here that would say enter with a look for schematics with 0.05 as well. Okay, and then another re-entry after with 0.05. So in total, everything, so the before, the limit, and the after gets clapped, I'm still down 0.20, which is what my plan says. Okay, so now we just have to wait. We just have to see whether price still has some more to go down or whether it wants to come up. But that's got nothing to do with me just yet because I'm this POI is set. It's good to go for me. So limit has been done. We just now need to wait. Let me come up. Okay. So it seems like the retracement has started. Yep. Cool. So now that retracement has started, I can also go in from my fib and see if there's any confluence sitting in there. There you go. Okay, so I like the fact that my 80 lands up with my 88.8. Okay, now it doesn't mean that I'm going to go and I'm going to risk more in there. It's just when I journal it, I would put that. Okay. You would be looking for lower time frame entry at this point. Okay, cool. I personally wouldn't. There is nothing in here that would start giving me anything. Again, my alert would be sitting somewhere right here. Is it because you are inside this 50? Is that why you'll be looking at it? In the premium area. But my premium would be here, right? Is that where your premium would be as well? I mean, that's where the 80 is.
Yeah, hey man. I mean, I consider my premium from the 50 up.
Okay, okay.
And if there is some confluence, I want to come it into the confluence, but in the 50, it's okay.
Okay, all right, sure. Okay, cool. So we'll see. Okay, but again, for me personally, I'll still be waiting for higher prices, for more, I guess, much more premium pricing. So this is what, as I said, for me, it's not screaming anything just yet. Nothing just yet. I will, however, see if we can get some sort of shakeout. Okay. Like this is Asian price action. So if we can get some sort of like a manipulation and then a break, maybe we could get something into here. But until we do that, nothing. Okay, so we've got, what do we have? We've got Frankfurt Open, and then we don't have New York just yet. So I would still be waiting for New York, see if New York gives us that one last tap, and then the break that we will need. Cool. All right. And also this is my first day. I'm not sure why it's not showing up, but this is my first day. There should be like a gray box. Maybe. Oh yeah, sorry, it's only on the 1 hour. So yeah, so this is my gray box. So this is Thursday. So uh entries tend to be a bit more riskier on a Thursday for me. So I'm just bearing that in mind with what's going on. Let's also have a look in terms of the fundamentals. So this is 12th of January. 12th of January, 1:30. We do have some USD news coming up. Okay, so in real life, I would be waiting for that. So I guess anything like 140 onwards, that's where maybe I'll be looking for like my entries. Because as I said, we could very well get some sort of manipulation, right, with the 130 well coming up right here. So I'll be waiting for that. And again, if we do get tapped, that's why I've got my limit there. So it's stress free. I'm not really looking to do anything with it. So that's just sitting there. And my main focus now is to just wait for that break, wait for the retracement, and then off we go. Cool. So let's play up. So we've got what? We've got 1 o'clock, 1:30 news here, and then we get the break. Come back up. Okay. Right. So okay, cool. I like the fact that we took our Asian high, took our Asian low, and this is where we're sitting. Let me actually draw it out much better. That is my trading range. Just want to check. Okay, so we do break below the trading range, right? Now what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for the limit in here. Okay. And then I want to see if we've got any confluence with the whole thing. Okay, so that's where the 80 lines up on the whole thing. So I guess I could take that as well. And then the 50 is pretty much the same, right? So what I'll do is I'll do that to this, and then I'll do that 80 to this. Okay, this for me, as I said, it has been mitigated. Um, to there, right? So that's what I would literally have a limit on. The news is done. There isn't anything happening now, so we just need to wait and see. Okay, so no, the news is not done. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so this is even better. Now the news is done. So this actually was just nothing, nothing, nothing. Right. So we still get this is our first drive, our second drive, this is now our third drive. The moment we get this break, I'll do the same thing once again. I just thought we done that, but we didn't. So we do the same thing. So we measure that, see if it's 50%, we can set 50%. Now at this point, we could also go ahead and place a sell limit. Sell stop. But this is news. I'm not sure whether this somebody would be happy to do so. I know I'm not, so I'm not gonna do it. I just do need to get the break. So there's the break. And then I'll be doing from that low to that high because that's essentially our U tag. And then I'll be placing a limit up in that 50 to the 80, and then 80 to where the full stop is. Okay, and target, we'll talk about it in a minute, but we'll be targeting the low. But everyone happy with this? Everyone okay with how I'm saying it? And essentially, this is the distro that I'm looking at. This is the distro. I'm see the question. Yep. Okay, cool, awesome. Right, so there's the clean break. Whoops. There's the clean break. Off the news, so spreads would be good. We come outside of the trading range. Um, so this is the mitigation play that we're looking to play with. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so 50 would tap you in. Oh, by the way, yeah, so how I would do this. So remember, I have got 0.5 in here, 0.5 in here. I would have 0.5 in total of this. So I would split this 0.025, and then this one will be 0.025. So in total, I'll be risking 0.05 in here because I still have, if I wasn't in here, I would still have 0.05, for example, in here. Or if this came up and clapped me out, but then never came into my limit and then did that, then I'll still have 0.05 in here because this is all still valid, right? So 0.05 basically total price in here, and I'm essentially going to go to reduce risk when we make that. The next leg down, I'll be going to break even. So we've got reduce risk here. And then the next market cycle down, we go to break even. Break even. Now just wait for that one. So and then also, so like I was saying earlier, my trade management plan is to go to break even. Uh, sorry. Is to go to reduce risk, break even, pay risk, and secure profit. Secure profit. Okay, and I'll show you how I do that in a sec. So we've got so reduce risk is that's where my alert would be to tell me go to reduce risk, and upon reduce risk, I'll see if I can also get into another trade into here with the reduced risk opportunity. Nothing at this price. We're coming up to London close, and nope, nothing at the moment as well. And if the alert doesn't go off before I go to bed, which yeah, so before I go to bed, which is somewhere around 10ish, I would go to break even. I'm sorry, I will go to reduce risk because there's no reason for me to not go to reduce risk. And then also, uh, it could activate during the night, but I'm not going to be awake for me to do that. So I will just go ahead and I'll reduce my risk to here. But let's just see if it does happen. Yeah, there you go. So reduced risk would have happened overnight. Yeah, around midnight my time. So reduce risk there. And then on the next market down, so we could come up maybe into here and then go down. I'll go to break even. Cool. So now I could actually be looking somewhere into here. Right, something like that. So what I'll do is I'll delete that 80 and I'll bring that 80 down to this. And I'll be looking if there's anything within that I can look at. So this is sitting right here. Right. And these two limits, I'll delete them once we go and make that low. Once we go and make that low, this is done, this is done. At the moment, this is still active because we could be coming up and do that. We never know. So just because I didn't understand the cycle, i.e., I needed to wait for that to go, then I know this is what's holding it. I could have missed out on this, for example, if it does decide to come up and clap me up and come up. Cool. So yeah, we come up and then we'll see what's in here. I would have a limit sitting in here. As I said, with that 0.02%. What is this? So let's see. So this is Asian, and I quite like it because we can get that Asian consolidation, can get pop Frankfurt Open, and then something like that. Give us a little something. Give us something. No, okay. Also, I wouldn't personally have something on that 50 simply because of this is a riskier trade, if that makes sense. I'd rather catch a micro in here than place a limit on this. Okay, because as I said, this could just be the start of a distro. We could accumulate and then we could come up. So I see this as a riskier trade. If I was to just throw a little something, I'd rather throw it on the 80 and then try catch the micro in the 50. So anyway, so this is Friday. Friday about equities open now. Do we get anything or do we? Well, no. So the market is closed. So equities market is closed, and that's pretty much it. So now I like what we've got in there. I like that. I like that imbalance that is sitting there on the 80. So I will leave this on, but sorry, I will leave the limit back. I'll put the limit back on once we do this. Once we do that and we come up, I'll see if I can throw a limit back in there. This for me has been mitigated, so that's all good. My so right now we're on break even, which would be somewhere there on that trade management. Yeah, so we're on at the end of London, New York close. We've gone to break even on this trade here. And essentially now, I'm not even gonna bother. I know a lot of people do this, but my re-entries stop right here, right here. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother spending any more time trying to catch any of these. As I said, to me, they might give me that 10 to 1, but they are riskier trades. Okay, because as I said, we are coming back into some sort of demand that has pushed price up. Was to say we come into here and new buyers come into here only to help push price up, which I don't want, and I could get clapped here stupidly. So I'd rather wait, be patient. I'd rather take less trades, um, and have a higher winning rate, if that makes sense. So now we just wait for next week. So that's Monday 16th. Monday 16th, you've got pretty much Monday, not a USD, is actually a bank holiday on a Monday. Uh, you've got manufacturing index on a Tuesday. Wednesday is the most. So Wednesday for USD is looking. Oops, go back. Oh my days. So Wednesday, what? Well, yeah, there you go. So yeah, that Wednesday 18th was looking super good. So ideally now, for me to uh, benefit more from this trade, I would like that Wednesday news to give me that instead. I don't mind waiting another week, essentially, but as long as I get this and as long as I can take some partials off this one, I'll be a happy guy. And then I can start thinking about next week to see if I can get some more entries in. Is that making sense so far? Let me know. So we'll just wait for that Wednesday news. So as I said, any of this, I'm not even gonna bother try looking for it. It could give me the best Asian manipulation, so that it could give me the best Asian manipulation and all that, but they don't really mean anything. This is I'm not in this yet. Okay, so this one, there's loads here is gonna give me 7 to 1, and my 10 to 1 is somewhere here. Okay. Oh, and by the way, so reduce risk, break even, and I'll pay my risk here. Pay risk here. So whatever was at risk, that 0.02 I paid, and then I would essentially go to secure profit in here. Secure profit in here, as well as a new low being achieved. And then we'll just wait. So we're coming up to so there's the 18th, there's the Asian session 18th. So we started to get some bearishness coming in around London, and then there's the news. It didn't really do much. Okay, so this is where we are. So we've reduced risk, break even, paid our risk, we've secured profit, and we've closed partial here at 10 to 1. Partial 10 to 1 reduced RR. So because this was pretty much like order flow, I would be taking a significance. I'll take 25% off. And let's see. So we're currently sitting in profit of 129, and we're going to be taking 25% off. 0.25. So we've got 32.25 so far in this, and that's this. So this is the first trade of. So 12th of January was the first trade that we would have taken on Usdchf in 2023. Okay, so now literally the cycle repeats. We'll now be looking for whenever this low finishes, whenever the retracement starts. Okay, I'm gonna make this man low, and then this is would be my entire leg, and that 80 is now back on. Whoops. And again, I'm deleting this. I'm deleting that because those don't hold anything. Can go ahead, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, and we can use that. Okay, so trying to see for confluence. So that 80 is lining up. The 80 is there perfectly. And just like I guess Adam said, I would also be looking for a distro within that 50 here. So within all of this here. Cool. And bear in mind also we are coming up into our hedge position. Okay. So we come up into our hedge position. And which is why I'm also going to be leaving the sell on, because if we can, if we can get through to the slingshot and then come into the extreme, that's it, 20 to 1, and we'll be hedged in. Okay, cool. So let's see what else the market can give us. And again, going back to the drawing board, this is where I'm looking to sell. This is where I will be looking to buy once when we go below there. Okay, so essentially, I'm not going to do anything except from wait for price to come back up into here. Back into here. Okay, and that was of the Thursday USD news that we saw in there. And that's also holding the leg. So that okay. We wait for the retracement, which we seem to have to be getting now. And as I said, I can also go ahead and throw my fib to get the premium pricing and the confluence that we like to look for. So the 88.8 is again lining up with my 80, which I like. And there's the 80 of this distro, there's the 80 of this leg, and the 88.8 is lining up within here. So X marks the spot. And then again, I'll be looking firstly to make that new low. That's already a 10 to 1, more than 10 to 1. So I'm happy to place a limit in there. I'll be increasing my risk now because I don't have any other risk to 0.05. Okay, 0.05, and then I'll be looking for distro in here with another 0.05. Okay, so let's see. Nothing much. I would. Did we break that? Okay, we break that. So now that we've broken this, I would be looking for something in here on the lower time frame. So because we went ahead and we broke that, See if we can get up into here, look for a micro, and then see if we can take it down. That would be my game plan. So we just have to wait for us to get up into here. I'll just draw it out like that. I like the imbalance that's in there. So 27th of January, coming up ever so slowly. Nothing in there excites me. Okay, cool. So now coming up into this, let's see what we do. Okay, so first of all, it came into it during like 9, 10 o'clock. So I'm not even. So yeah, it came into it around like 8 p.m. my time, which is not ideal. So this whole thing, I mean, and we can see what happened. Right, it just got clapped. Okay, so now essentially, when we look at our retracement leg now, if I just borrow that retracement, and we've got that. Again, we've got our limit setting in there. Um, so we'll see. And then at the same time, I would also have like my alert be right here to say look for like a distro coming into it. So we shall see what we've got. So what is this? This is Tuesday. Tuesday, New York. Oh, hold on. I think that's a new week, right? So Tuesday, New York. Uh, yeah. So that's where we got. So end of end of January. So January essentially we've only took one trade in January. And we're now into the next month. Next month Tuesday we've got a banging USD news. Friday NFP once again. So those are like the two main ones that we'll be waiting on. So yeah, we'll see. Okay. Right, and again, we'll be looking for that break and then coming up into there. Now this could be very well make sense in the sense of there's two ways, okay? So how I'll be looking at it would be like this. If we could break this, hold on. Yeah, if we could break this low like this and then come back up and then go down, that's where this is the entry that I'll get. The other entry we could potentially look for in terms of best case scenario is this. Use use that Tuesday news to do that, and then Wednesday, Thursday we get that, and then Friday we get the NFP, and then we go down. That would be the best case scenario for us because then we can also see what we've got sitting here, right? And then ideally that I would want that to tap into my limit, right? So let's see which one does the market give us, if any. Okay, so we've got that. Again, now just because we've got that does not mean we don't get this one. Okay, it does not. We could also very well get that, but because we got the break, it does allow me to go ahead and take a trade. That's all that it does. Um, so I'll be looking for something. Oops, something like that. So in between that 80 and that 50 to see if we can get a pullback, and at the same time we could also get something like this, or price now just wants to go. And if so, then we'll wait once again. So slight, oops, okay, so slight attempt to retrace, and then nothing, and then this is FOMC. So Wednesday FOMC, and then off we go. And this one we're currently sitting at a 12-1. So I guess we could go ahead and take some more partials at this 12-1, especially now that we went and we made a new low. So new low, and what's this? This is, I'll just make this. Hold on, until. So this was one. Okay, so times 1250 minus 1250. So we had 937 risk left back on this, and we'll be sitting at 12-1 here, and that's 1225 times 117. So here we will back another 29, 25. Okay, and again we'll do the same thing. So we've got 9, we've got 702 sitting in here. So we just got just over $7 risk is what's remaining in here. Okay, cool. So essentially now I wouldn't like this option to happen. I would like price to obviously come back up and then come into here now. Okay. That would be the best case scenario. And then this, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. So let's go ahead and do that. So this delete, this delete, this delete, this delete. This distro now, as beautiful as it was, it just we couldn't get into it. Is everything making sense so far? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. So what we've got back on is still this. Okay. And again, once the retracement starts, I can throw the fib and then do that. This now is my slingshot. I would like to see what price does when we get into that, because this is a very good clean price action. It's got cause and effect in it, and this is my entire leg here. I do also want to see. Okay, so we've got some confluence within that very close 80s. Okay, so the retracement seems to have started. Okay, I like this area. It's screaming to me. This is not very strength. Is there any way I can maybe set a limit? Maybe if I was to do it from that 80, does that allow me? No, 40, 31. I could maybe justify that. 61. Nice. So what's this? 8 o'clock. There's no ways I can. There is no way I can reduce my. I'll just make it 20. That's it. Yeah, there's no 21, so that should be enough, really. Okay, so I've got a limit there 0.05, and hold on, my count is now so 50 plus 32, 25 plus 29, 25 is 5000615. And again, same thing, rinse and repeat. 0.05 in here, and we'll be looking for the distro at the same time. Distro. Okay, so that's it. And then I would also be watching this as well. So let's see what happens. So we go into, oops, hold on. So we go into Friday, nothing much. And then this is the FOMC. Not FOMC, sorry, NFP. And then, okay, cool. So we've got our entry would activate. Super, super sweet. Happy days. But this is at 3 p.m. So after, when is this? This is Friday the 3rd. Oh, sorry, Friday the 3rd, we do have another news. So Friday, 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. is here. So 3 p.m. is what would activate you right in. And then we'd still be in, I'm assuming. Yes, so our stop loss is here. Cool. Now I will be going to reduce risk once we take out this. Once we do this, for example. Okay. So let's see. Hold on, where we are. Okay, so this is 10 p.m. Okay, I don't even know. I don't know if that would still allow you to stay in because it is very tight, isn't it? It's very tight. It's very, very tight. I think for me, I want to say it might have let you. Let's just say, I guess for backtesting purposes, it has let you. Okay. I do need that to break for me to go to reduce risk. Bottom table. Okay. It would have been a shame because this is actually quite. If we got that, because I can see it didn't take out the Asian highs, but if you got that, this is a clean price action to have taken a trade out of. But I didn't. I don't have my reduced risk, and I don't have a shakeout, so I need to wait. And yeah, that is stopped. That's gone. Okay, so we are down in this one, $25. So $25. 25, 25. Yeah, $25. Cool. Now, do we go? Okay, we will be going make a new high. Okay, cool. But having said that, oh, you know what? I bet you maybe came into this. I don't know. Never mind. Okay, now so I do need that to go bearish break for me to go and then see if we can get into an entry. All right, so let's see if we do get that. No. Okay, so we get a break. Do we get a pullback straight away? No. Okay, so that's it. I'm not looking at this now. This POI here is done for me. I'll delete this. I'll delete that. I'll delete this. I'll delete that. I'll delete this. Cool. So now what do you need it to do is I do need it to make a new low. Okay, I do need it to make a new low. Because remember we also did go and we made a new high. So essentially we've broke that now and we're currently sitting from here to here. That's our bullish order flow. That's my point of control. Okay, that's my retracement. So I don't really. Cool. So same thing. I need that to go and make a new low. This entry here we're still in, so we just ride it out. We'll see what happens to it. Okay, cool. So let's see. As I said, for me, I'm not catching anything like anything, any of these. It is what it is. I need price to go and give me that low for a sell, or give me a break here for a buy. Okay, so we've got a new high. Okay. Oops, hold on. So we've got a new high, and price comes into here, and price this essentially breaks us break even on here. So this trade is now complete. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. That's done. So essentially, we managed to get 12 to 1 on that, and then that's it. Okay. So that trade there is done. Actually, all of that, all of that, all of that. Cool. And then what we've got instead is we've got a bullish booth, isn't it? So we've got that. Got a bullish booth. Okay. So let's look at where we are. So we've come into essentially our slingshot. We've come into about 50% of it, and we seem to accumulate after breaking this new high here. So I could very well throw a reduced risk entry to see what we can, to see if this is where price wants to go up and come up into our lower time frame leg. Okay, that's our number one. Or number two, what can we get? We can get start to accumulate, right? And then price gives us our what? Our shakeout, and then we redistribute. Those two are like they're in the back of my mind, trying to get a feel of where the market is going. Okay. Um, yeah, cool. So now for me, as I said, I'm gonna be looking for an entry to attempt to see what we do. Quite like what's in here as well. That was that. Yeah, that was the NFP one. Sorry, the FOMC. Okay, so there's what we've got, and I'm just gonna be waiting for that retracement. As I said, I'm not even gonna try to catch the slingshot. It's not gonna be worth it for me. So wait for the retracement. There isn't anything in here that I also see what the market's coming up into. Oh, hold on. Okay, right. So okay, we're coming in. Hold on. First of all, yeah, there isn't anything in here that I see the market has come to really. So minute that. Cool. So now for me, I can see the retracement has started. I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And again, this is just this area here, just marking up where the treasure is. POI. I can go and I can see if I can place a limit. Into that. Okay, so that is way too high. I'm gonna have to maybe base on that 80 here. And again, I'll be targeting that high first of all. That's already a 10 to 1. So that's okay. That's what I'll be doing. But again, at the same time, also what I'll be doing is I'll be looking for my 10 to 1. I'm not gonna try to be greedy. So my 10 to 1 would be here, which is good. And I'm also gonna see if I can get into a hedge here. Hedge here. Okay. If I get into this buy and price is here, there is no reason why I shouldn't try to get into this hedge here. Okay. And if I do risk this, and if this goes down, then this limit is more of a reason to be back on, if that makes sense. Cool. So that's pretty much it. And then what I'm going to be risking is 0.05. 0.005 on this. And my balance is, where's my, all right. So you've got 32.25 plus 25. So you've got 36 and 0.05 is what I'm saying on. Okay, so that's it. That's pretty much it. So we have to wait for. What is this? This is 10th of March. So where are we at? Done all of this. Okay, so 10th of March. We've got 1 p.m. We've got USD news. That's we've got NFP. That's what we've got. Sorry, not 10 p.m. 1:30 p.m. So let's see. Okay, so we're coming up into it. Don't have anything yet. Nothing. So this is essentially 1:30 right back on. And I do like how price is giving us this. Seeing this as like a type 4. As soon as we get that break, I'll be quick to go to reduce risk. Be quick to go to reduce risk here. Something like that, reduce risk here. See if we can get into it one more time, but essentially I'll be looking to close majority of my orders here and then see if we can get to a hedge. Sorry, 75 at least here, and then the 25% just in case we do go and we make it high. Okay, so let's see if we get the reduced risk. Oh, where are we at now? This is so about 32 pips. Doesn't mean anything. I do need to get that break. Okay, so we've gone. Okay, so hold on, I'm lying. So close here. So the market closed here. Yep. Oh, right, okay, so this is Monday, sorry. So this is Monday. Right, and then the market closed here. The market closed here, so that's why I would go to reduce risk. Okay, because just out before I go to bed. All right, and hold on. So that was reduced risk here. And now essentially next day, which hopefully, yeah, so next day is Tuesday. See if you can get like this coming round into here. See if you can get into another entry here to see if we can go up with it. But essentially we're reduced risk here. When we do that, I'll go to break even. And hold on. And I'll be looking for something in between that 50 and that 80. If you do get it, okay, we don't get it. Instead, so now that's gone. Instead, we've got that break even here. At the same time, because of the pip count, what is this? We are on 160 pips. So because of the pip count, I will be paying my risk, and my risk is $25. So I will be paying $25 here. So essentially, we are back on here. So I'll be paying $25 here. And then again, I'll be looking at that 10 to 1 we'll be closing at 75%. If we do get it. Okay, so 10 to 1 is there. That's why I close 75%. So what do we have? We've got 293, 0.75, and 293. Okay, so we've got two, right? Because my caps get okay. So we've got 21975. All right, and then we have 25% left in this. So we've got $6.25 left in this. Okay, and again, as I said, I will be looking for something in here. See if we can get into that hedge. This drop. Up. See if we can come up. My alert wouldn't have gone off yet. Nothing. Nothing. Cool. So at this point, I'm still going to be waiting for this or for price to now do that. Two things. That's it. I'm not going to try catch nothing in between. Okay, I'm not even going to try to catch a re-entry and nothing. No. Because the play was not from here. We're not in a structured leg where we can stack our re-entries. The play was mitigating out of that. That caused the leg. So now it's either gonna for me to look for buys. Hold on. For me to look okay, so I'm not gonna be looking for buys. But if it was here, for me to look for buys, we would now need to break that, then come back. Or not for me to look for sells, we now need to break this and then come back, which is what we did. So cool. So now we broke this. So this is now gone. 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 Okay, and we do have a break. So we're pretty much back on where we was before. Bearish order flow. Okay. Essentially then this is our slingshot and this is our MC. But then remember we're also coming into our leg here. So see if we can get into something that if price gives us a little something in here. Okay, so no, that price is pretty much traded through that, so I can even delete that actually. So now the only thing I've got left is this. Again, I'm not looking to play any of this, any of these like micro in there. I do want price to give us that shakeout and us coming into here. So that means what I'll rather wait, but then we get more trades. Okay, so price is coming up into here now. See what we can do. Okay. Now this would be a bit different if we do get another low here, and if I can get into this right here. The reason being is because if I can get into this and price does make it low, then that's the perfect hedge I could be in. Because remember, I'm not in a sell right now. It's a different scenario. I'm not in a hedge right now, right? I was in a hedge from sell here, but we got stopped. Then I was looking for here, and price never came in. So if I could get into if I could get into some sort of sell hedge, just so then that would allow me to get into the buy, then that's also something that I could look for like a reduced risk. But I do need price to at least give me a new low. Okay, so well, we haven't got a new low just yet. We've got a low here. Alright, so let's look at what we've got in there. So let's drop back down. Okay, so I like going here. Like that. We'll see if we've got any confluence with this. Nope. Cool, so I can see maybe the retracement has started. Yep. See if we can place the figure. Okay, so that's where it's lining up. Okay, so I think I'm gonna place it on that 80. That's an 8 pip. What's this one? This one is a 16. And again, my main target is at least to go and make this new low, which is a 1921. And then I could also hold partials for that low here. Okay, so I'll do that. Okay, cool. So, and again, so what do we have now? What is our so we've got 5 plus plus 5 plus 2. So we're currently sitting on 0 25, and then 0.05 as well. Cool. And again, at the same time, I'm also thinking of this as an accumulation, right? We could very well get that. Because this could be our trading range, right? And we could get price come up, give us our third drive, and but just in case we don't, I'll be hedged in from that sell. Cool. So let's see. Oh, we are 27th of April. Mm-hmm. 27th of April, 1:30. We have some news. Then 28th of April, which is a Friday, 1:30. We have some USD news as well. So that's Thursday. Nothing. And again, this limit is not coming off until we do that, because all of this here could just be noise, and then we could get that 12. So nothing until we do that, and then we give us for the third drive. Okay, so we're in. So we're in Tuesday. Tuesday, 10 p.m. We're in from the 80. That's filling up the imbalance that's sitting right here. So hold up. So for me now to trade manage this. So we can see our leg. Okay, so I'm gonna go to reduce risk here, break even here, and then pay my risk here, and open that new. So actually, so secure profit here, and then pay risk here, because then that would make that new low as well. Okay, so let's see. I can't do any re-entries until I reduce my risk. Mhm. Okay. All right. So wait, what was this? This was 2nd of May. Jobs opening, 3 p.m. Yeah, 3 p.m. jobs opening. So news went in our favor. We managed to go to reduce risk. And at the same time, break even. And we said we would secure profit here, and then we'll pay our risk when we make when we go and make that new low here. That's holding the order flow leg. Pay risk and bearish move. Cool. And then yeah, we close 75% here as well. So break even there, and again re-entry for me would be when we make this low, because now this is what we'll be holding now. We'll see if we can come up, ideally to fill up some of the imbalance, and then go down. Okay. Cool. So we paid our risk here, and the risk that we paid, this was $25. 20, $25, and then we'll be closing out for 75, just like how we did with the other one over there. Cool. And again, as I said, we can also come back up, but we can look for another entry in here with the reduced risk that we just saved and the risk that we just paid to go down. Okay, no, so now price has gone and we made a fair drive. So this will close at 75%. What are we sitting on? So we're sitting on 0.75 times 724. So we will be closing 5443 and times 25 minus 25, and again we would have 625 left as our risk. Cool. So I need to delete that. Delete that. Okay, so again, in terms of our hedge, this hedge buy, we are getting this one drive, this two drive, and then we'll see what we do here. Do we get this break? This is the major break that I will need. Let me put it like that. So yeah, this is the major break that we will need. Do we get that? And at the same time, I'm gonna see if we can try find like a micro right at the bottom. And for that, I'm gonna see what is in our point of interest. So we have got this is in here. So this is our 50. And this is our 80. That's pretty much it now, right? This is it. Like this is if the price does that, then that's it. It's just bearish all across the board. So that's it. That 50 and that 80 is the last. And look at that, we tapped into the 50. That 50 and that 80 is the last thing that we'll be looking at now. So now that we tapped into that 50, I personally don't like the selling pressure that we come in, but let's see what we get in here and where we're at. So remember, I've got 25% on running here. I would be also closing out, chipping off from that 25% once we come across here, and then I'll let, if because there is no guarantee that this thing is gonna hold, right? It could come and then we could go bearish intraday. We don't know, so we just have to wait. Okay, cool. So we tapped into that 50. Let's see where we are on the lower time frame. Nothing too crazy, but that's 3rd of May, so we've got one whole month left. What do we do? And come up to the 15. Okay, so what is this? This is, do we get another push? Okay, we did get another push down. So that's it. Now I want to be looking inside that. If we come up into that 80, or if we form that accumulation, like if we can form an accumulation somewhere in here. I do want to see price give us that Asian sweep and see if we can get something. Nope. Give us that sweep. Come on. Nothing in there does interest me. Nope. And again, yeah, remember, so once we break that, I should maybe put a line in there. Once we break that, then I'll be looking for buys as well. So we're currently 5th of May, so we still got 3 weeks of May left. Just for curiosity's sake, do we react from here? No, don't look like that. Didn't come up. No, so that's very close to that 50. And if we go make a new high, yeah, we're going to make a new high. So that area there is done. Okay. I still need to wait for this. Yeah, and there we go. Okay, so we made a break now. So essentially we do have our 1 drive, our 2 drive, our 3 drive that has gave us a jump across the creek. The only thing that we now hope for is, do we get a last point of support or do we get a break? Don't know. Okay, cool. So now for me, I'll be looking for that. Oh, I'll be looking for like some sort of retracement and then try to catch something in here to go up. Nothing in here I would want to do anything with. I do need price to give us some sort of shakeout first. So 18th of May now. At the moment we're still, like, we can see we're still respecting everything, right? So if I was to that, make a new high, this is always holding it, we'll make a new high. So we're still kind of, following along, we're still retracing. So very well, but and respecting, and yeah, we've got to make a new high. So as soon as we can see some sort of retracement, where we break some of these order flows, I'll be looking for some sort of buy to go up. That for me just feels more of a premium to buy. I do need it to be discounts. Coming up to, okay, so we're coming up to like literally this week now, 2nd of June and whatnot. So that's where we are in this long drawn out accumulation. The play was here, essentially inside that 50, but there wasn't anything in here. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there isn't anything in here for me personally. But just to clarify something, right? Just to show you guys this real quick. This is how, for me, when I've what I'm still trying to learn. Sorry, what I'm still trying to learn really is, like, trying to perfect these sort of entries like that. It's not really ping ponging, if that makes sense, because for me ping pong is like trying to get all of these in and outs in here, but trying to understand try to get a trade to help bring it into this area, but this area is a really key, a really respected area because this is our intraday area, right? And then trying to get into the 50s and trying to get into the 80s where we could get into an accumulation to see like whichever one is winning. This one would be winning up to here, and this one would be winning up to here. Like that for me makes the perfect sense of hedging. Um, so yeah, so that was pretty much it. So this in total, so we closed off one at break even. Give me a sec. So this is 30 to 25 plus. So on a 15, on a 50, sorry, on a 50, um, 50K account, your account in that 5 months of just this is just reduced risk, right? Because we have this is the only one that we will be trading out of structure. All of the rest was just continuation. So those were all reduced risk. So this on the 5 months, your account would have been up 1.65. Doesn't seem too crazy, but this is just off a one pair of one, two, three, four trades that we took. So essentially one trade a month. And that does bring us to the end of where we are now. Cool. So before we hop off, because we have been here for a while, close to 2 hours now, any questions? Let me know quick questions. Whilst I pause and then I take a sip. Let me know any questions, anything to clarify. I was gonna spend some time to put it all on here. Like for example, remember when we saw the bunch of like 80s and 88s, I was gonna put it on here if it was a redistro, but I just feel like that would take a lot of time and we would be here for more than 2 hours because that's what I do when I backtest on my own and they take quite a while. Cool. Let me know. If not, I do have to hop off. I've got church in the morning early. I'm gonna be I'll go there super early to like set up and everything. So I will be having an early night right after this. Real quick as well, I went to the thing today. I don't know if this is gonna scare some people, but I went to the British Museum today and we saw the Cleopatra's mummy, and this is it here. So Cleopatra is obviously the Egyptian queen. She's been mummified and it's in the British Museum. Super scary. But and today was obviously the first time I've seen a mummy as well. There was a bunch of things being mummied, like being mummified. There was food being mummified. There was cats. I saw a young bull being mummified. Obviously, young kids. Super crazy. Cool. All right. I will hop off. I will let you guys with it. And as I said, I will upload this maybe tomorrow or something, so you guys can watch it again. But definitely take some time, well, definitely tomorrow now to do this by yourself on another pair. See what you learned from it, see where you went and missed out. I would definitely suggest the majors are worth doing it. I like the prolonged 5 months or so. And do that. So it makes more sense. Cool. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in a bit.